From New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Anil Thomas. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's External Affairs Minister to attend 19th Summit of Non-Aligned Movement in Kampala. India's Prime Minister to inaugurate the state-of-the-art Boing India Engineering and Technology Centre campus in southern Indian city of Bengaluru. North Korea conducts test underwater nuclear weapon system, says test a protest against this week's trilateral military drill. 6th edition of Khelo India Youth Games begin in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. Prime Minister to inaugurate the opening. Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will lead the Indian delegation at the 19th Summit of the Non-Aligned Movement NAM in Kampala. The two-day NAM Summit will begin today in the Ugandan capital of Kampala. The 19th NAM Summit will focus on deepening cooperation for shared global affluence and will bring together more than 120 developing countries. The summit will be preceded by deliberations at the ministerial and senior official levels. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on Thursday met his Maldivian counterpart Musa Zamir on the margins of NAM Summit in Uganda's Kampala. The two leaders had a frank conversation on the ties between the two countries. They also discussed non-aligned movement-related issues. On his part, Maldivian Foreign Minister said that the two sides exchanged views on the ongoing high-level discussions on the withdrawal of Indian military personnel, as well as expediting the completion of ongoing development projects in the Maldives and cooperation within SAARC and NAM. He said that both sides are committed to further strengthening and expanding our cooperation. Earlier back home, MEA spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal said that India and Maldives held talks for a mutually workable solution to ensure the continued cooperation of Indian aviation platforms that are providing humanitarian services. He added that during a core group meeting, both countries discussed various aspects about the bilateral relations between the two countries.
Regarding Maldives, Siddhant, you would have seen that on 14th we had a meeting of the core group. In the core group, we had detailed discussions on several aspects of the bilateral relationship. We also made available what was discussed in the meeting through a press release. And then in that press release, we mentioned that both sides held discussions on finding mutually workable solution to enable continued operation of Indian aviation platforms that provide humanitarian and medevac services to the people of Maldives. The next meeting is to be held in India to take discussion forward. Regarding your projects in Maldives, obviously the core group meeting happened on 14th. On our part, we remain committed to our projects to take them forward. We have been an important development partner of Maldives. We remain committed to doing all things that we can do as a development partner of Maldives in keeping with their priorities.
Well, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar also met counterparts from Angola, Belarus and Egypt. He held a good meeting with the Angolan Foreign Minister, Ambassador Tete Antonio. The two leaders discussed the expanding India-Angola and India-Africa cooperation. They also spoke about cooperation in multilateral fora. Jaishankar thanked Antonio for extending visa-free arrangements for Indian nationals. Dr. S. Jaishankar held a useful meeting with Belarusian Foreign Minister Sergei Alenik. The two leaders exchanged views on India-Belarus cooperation in various fields. They also discussed developments pertaining to the Ukraine conflict. The External Affairs Minister also expressed delight in meeting the Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh Shouri. He appreciated Sameh's assessments and insights on the ongoing conflict in Gaza. They also noted the continued progress of the bilateral cooperation following the exchange of the two leaders between the two nations in 2023. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Bengaluru today, where he will inaugurate a state-of-the-art Boing India Engineering and Technology Centre campus. The 43-acre campus is Boeing's largest such investment outside the US. Boeing's new campus in India will help develop the next-generation products and services for the global aerospace and defense industry.
With an aim to grow as a globally competitive supplier base in India, US aerospace giant Boeing's expansion and investment in India is all set for a new chapter. This new facility at Aerospace Park at Devanahalli on the outskirts of India's IT capital city Bengaluru will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself. Boeing will co-partner with India to execute high-quality advanced aerospace projects. This facility will support in providing required engineering expertise to Boeing's defense, space and commercial sectors. BIETC will play an important role in co-development of initiatives for Indian Defence Forces. The facility will leverage labs and state-of-the-art technology such as AI, IOA for collaborations with India. It is also expected to generate jobs for the people in the vicinity.
We have a huge presence both on the commercial as well as on the defence and services side in India. We are a leading partner of India on the aerospace sector. Getting the Honourable Prime Minister here is as iconic as the building itself and much bigger than that, I would say. Okay. We all are getting excited and looking forward to hosting the Prime Minister to inaugurate this facility tomorrow.
Boeing's presence in India is stretched across various collaborations like MROs, GSC and building a steady supply chain for the aircrafts manufactured by the company. Boeing has a long-standing journey in defence sector in India. Indo-US enhanced partnership has led to Boeing and India working closely, where Boeing has offered its defence equipments for Indian Defence Forces. Boeing's C-17 Globemaster IIIS has proven to be the backbone of the Indian force and deployed in crucial and successful operations by India during the evacuation of Indians from Ukraine war and also during the COVID medical delivery operations. The custom-made Boeing B777 VVIP aircraft is used by President, Vice President and the Prime Minister of India for international visits.
This is where I think the next leap forward of the aerospace sector will start from. This is what it signifies. This is where India is going to take the next leap forward, in my opinion, in the aerospace sector. The vision, the dreams of several thousand people.
India's commercial market is expected to be the third largest in the world by 2041. Boeing forecasts India's carriers will need 2,200 new planes over the next 20 years. That will be a focus area for the company as well. Boeing's commercial expansion plans, also in line with the growing demand for aircrafts with India, create an infrastructure and network for facilitating flight connectivity across the country. On Thursday, Boeing won an order for 150 MAX jets from India's newest airline at Wings Aerospace Expo.
Atmanirbhar is all about self-reliant India. It's all about making for India and making for the world. Yeah. The engineers are an extremely talented bunch of engineers sitting here, and we are very, very hopeful that what they are going to... Today they work on very, very mission-critical programs, and all that they do is to make sure that flying is safe. All that they do is to ensure that India is shining, because the products that you see for Boeing across the world, that engineering works happened right here in this development center.
Prime Minister will also launch the Boeing Sukanya program that aims to support the entry of more girl children from across India into the country's growing aviation sector. The program will provide opportunities for girls and women from across India to learn critical skills in the science, technology, engineering and math fields and train for jobs in the aviation sector.
Till now, Boeing has always occupied the largest square meter area at India's biannual and Asia's largest aerospace exhibition, Aero India. But now, with this facility taking off, Boeing gives wings to a new and strong partnership with India's aligned vision of self-reliance in aerospace sector. Aisha Khanam, DD India, Bangalore.
Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Guarantee Ki Gaadi is reaching all districts of the nation. It is also creating awareness in urban areas regarding the central government schemes. Meghna Gaurav from Kandivli in Mumbai in Maharashtra state talks about her experience in Meri Kahani, Meri Zubani Has she benefited from various schemes, including PM Mudra?
Meghna Gurav, a single parent, used to sell home-cooked food products on the footpath. She always felt the pinch as life was getting hard to live and selling was not enough. She gathered information of PM Mudra Yojana in 2016 and approached the bank for loan. Meghna then received a loan amount from Canara Bank.
मेरा कैटरिंग का व्यवसाय है. मेरे पास व्यवसाय के लिए मेरे पास पैसे नहीं थे, तो मैंने 2016 में मुद्रा का लोन लिया, जो कि प्रधानमंत्री का तभी योजना आई थी, तो मैंने लोन लिया. वो लोन लेके मैंने मेरा व्यवसाय को आगे बढ़ाया और मैं सिंगल मदर हूँ, मेरे 2 बच्चे हैं, तो मैं ये व्यवसाय की वजह से मैं मेरे बच्चों को भी पढ़ा पाई.
Meghna then started her catering business with a loan amount. With her business doing well, her income became stable and she was able to repay her loan in time. She also took an education loan to educate her children, and today one of her sons is studying hotel management abroad. Meghna also benefited from PM Swanidhi, PM Suraksha Bima Yojana, Atal Pension Yojana, among others. Meghna urges other women to take benefits of the various schemes which central government has implemented for the betterment of the society.
Well, now we get you all the buzz being generated in the build-up to the consecration of the Ram temple in the Indian temple town of Ayodhya on the 22nd of Jan. Well, just 3 days are left for the grand consecration ceremony of the Ram temple in Ayodhya on the 22nd of Jan. We at Deed India tell you how the temple town is getting ready for the special day. Siddharth Bharadwaj has the latest.
As the consecration ceremony approaches near, we take you through a mesmerizing journey in the hearts of this historic city.
The architectural wonders of Ayodhya come to life with mesmerizing lightings, each building telling a story of the city's rich cultural heritage. It's a visual delight for the onlookers. The streets are alive with the spirit of community. Locals from all walks of life come together, sharing the joy and anticipation that fills the air. It's a testament to the unity and resilience of Ayodhya's people. The cultural heartbeat of Ayodhya echoes through the city's streets with the live performances, dances, and the musical shows.
As we conclude our journey through the radiant streets of Ayodhya, we can't help but feel the excitement building for the consecration ceremony. With camera person Yogesh, this is Siddharth Bharadwaj reporting for DD India in Ayodhya.
Meanwhile, the first glimpse of the new idol of Lord Ram placed inside Ayodhya's Ram temple on Thursday has been revealed. Made in black stone, it depicts a 5-year-old Ram in standing posture. The face of the idol was covered with a veil. Well, today marks the 5th day of rituals in the run-up to the consecration of the Ram temple in Ayodhya. Various events are being organized across the country in honor of the consecration ceremony in Ayodhya. A vibrant laser show was organized in the western Indian state of Gujarat. The laser show projected pictures of Lord Ram and was organized in Surat. Ahead of the consecration ceremony in the temple city of Ayodhya, a 300-feet earthen lamp has been prepared at Ramghat area of the city. It's the world's largest lamp and it will be lit this evening in the Indian city of Ayodhya. The mega consecration ceremony will be inaugurated by lighting a 300-feet lamp built at an exuberant cost. This amazing lamp has been made from the soil of all the places of pilgrimage: sea, water and cow ghee. The lamp has been named the Dashrath Deepak. 108 tins of oil, which came from Goddess Sita's maternal home in Nepal, will be used to light the lamp. Security, meanwhile, has been beefed up in and around Ayodhya in view of the consecration ceremony of the Ram temple. The Uttar Pradesh government is using drones for better surveillance of the city. Amidst the intensive checking, Ayodhya's anti-terrorism squad detained 3 suspicious individuals. According to the officials, the suspects are being interrogated. They further said no connection with any terrorist organization has yet come to light. Let's take a look at some other stories making news from across India. Cold wave and dense fog has gripped India's northern belt. The conditions are likely to prevail over states of Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan, and at isolated places over Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, according to the forecast by the Indian Meteorological Department. The dense fog has lowered visibility, causing disruption in rail and air traffic. Union Home Minister Amit Shah paid tributes to martyrs as he laid a wreath at Shillong War Memorial in the northeastern state of Meghalaya. The minister is in the state to chair the plenary meeting of the Northeastern Council. 5 people were killed in a head-on collision between a scooter and a motorbike in the eastern state of Odisha's Ganjam district on Thursday night. One person was critically injured in the mishap and is currently undergoing treatment. As India gears up for the 75th Republic Day, parade rehearsal at Kartavya Path in the national capital is underway for 26th of Jan. French President Emmanuel Macron will mark his presence as the chief guest on the occasion. It will be the 6th occasion when a French leader will be the chief guest at Republic Day celebration. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reiterates rejection of Palestinian statehood as part of any post-conflict scenario. 4 new deep-sea octopus species discovered in a 100 square mile size area of Costa Rica.
At this very special presentation of DD India, we take a deep dive into the history of Ram Temple movement.
Ram kaaj kinu binu mohi kahan bishra.
Do watch this special documentary on Ram Temple movement retold on 19th of January at these times.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Anil Thomas. North Korea has conducted a test of its underwater nuclear weapon system on Friday. North Korea state media in a report said that the test was conducted in protest against the weak joint military drills by South Korea, the United States and Japan. The report further said that the test of the Hail 523 system, a name North Korea has given to its nuclear-capable underwater attack drones, was carried out by the Defense Ministry's think tank in the waters of its east coast. The 3 countries' navies held their 3-day regular drills until Wednesday alongside the U.S. aircraft carrier Carl Vinson as part of its efforts to improve their responses to Pyongyang's evolving nuclear and missile threats in the peninsula. Well, DD India's correspondent Andrew Wood tells us more from Hong Kong.
North Korea hasn't really given any details of this test, exactly where it happened, exactly when it happened. It's possible that North Korea may well have been planning it anyway and decided to keep it quiet. But the naval drills between South Korea, Japan and the United States, the 3 countries that North Korea dubs as its worst enemies, took place this week. So it's an opportunity, a propaganda opportunity for the North Koreans to announce this and remind the world that it's developing these weapons. Even if it is a case like that, it was a case of opportunism by the North Koreans, though it doesn't really improve the situation in the region. It probably makes it worse. It makes the tension a little bit more tense. So, as I say, it might have been something that the North Koreans were going to do in secret anyway and not tell the world. But this probably does make the place, the northeast of Asia, a more dangerous place, I think. You know, this is the 2nd time that we've known about a test, or at least that North Korea has claimed it had a test. It first tested it the Hail underwater drone back in March last year. And at the time, it said this was designed for sneaky attacks in foreign waters, enemy waters, and also for attacking groups of warships. And that's pretty much, what we see with a US carrier strike force, a big aircraft carrier with several support ships, or also for overwhelming ports. Remember, hail means tsunami in Korean, and the idea of this is that when you explode the nuclear weapon underwater, it will create a radioactive tsunami, a gigantic wave that could overwhelm these ships and overwhelm ports.
Well, North Korea's foreign minister concluded his visit to Russia and returned to his country on Friday. Foreign Minister Cho Sung-hu held a rare meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin as part of closer cooperation. Along with the government delegation, Cho held a meeting with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov and discussed strengthening the strategic and tactical cooperation. Cho's visit was the latest in a series of high-level exchanges since last year, after it was criticized for allegedly shipping artillery and missiles to Russia. Though both North Korea and Russia deny the acquisitions, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov called North Korea a very important partner.
They
discussed bilateral relations in general, the situation on Korean Peninsula, and an exchange of views on the most pressing international affairs. But the main emphasis is on the development of bilateral relations. And we have repeatedly said, and I am ready to repeat it again, that Democratic People's Republic of Korea is our very important partner. And we are aimed at further developing our relations in all areas, including sensitive ones.
White House is keeping a close eye on recent exchanges between North Korea and Russia, which it termed as an unprecedented level of cooperation in the military sphere. White House Senior Director for Arms Control Pranay Vadi on Thursday said the nature of the security threat posed by North Korea could change drastically in the coming decade. Responding to the meeting, top nuclear envoys from the United States, Japan and South Korea on Thursday held a trilateral meeting in Seoul and criticized North Korea's military cooperation with Russia. Jung Pak, U.S. senior official for North Korea, said that Pyongyang's transfer of short-range ballistic missiles and other weapons to Russia for use against Ukraine demand attention and coordinated action.
We strongly condemn this launch, which violates multiple UN Security Council resolutions. The DPRK's continued development of its unlawful nuclear and ballistic missile programs, its transfer of ballistic missiles and other weapons to Russia for use against Ukraine, its ongoing malicious cyber activities against countries around the world, and its continuing human rights violations and abuses against its own people, all of this demands our attention and coordinated action.
Well, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has told the United States that he objects to the establishment of any Palestinian statehood as part of any post-conflict scenario that did not guarantee Israel's security. In a nationally broadcast news conference on Thursday, Netanyahu emphasized that Israel must have security control over the entire territory west of the Jordan River.
For 30 years, I have been very consistent, and I say a simple thing. This conflict is not about the absence of a state, a Palestine state, but the existence of a state, a Jewish state. Therefore, I clarify that in any arrangement in the foreseeable future, with an accord or without an accord, the state of Israel must have security control over the entire territory west of the Jordan River. That's a necessary condition.
While Iran-allied Houthi militia launched 2 anti-ship ballistic missiles at a US-owned tanker ship on Thursday night that hit the waters near the vessel. The latest incident caused no injuries or damage. The United States launched additional strikes early on Thursday, targeting 2 Houthi anti-ship missiles that were being deemed an imminent threat to shipping and US Navy vessels in the region. Earlier in the second attack this week on a US-operated vessel in the region, the Genko Picardy came under attack in the Gulf of Aden late on Wednesday, sparking a fire on board and prompting the Indian Navy to rescue the crew. India diverted a warship deployed in the region, INS Vishakhapatnam, to rescue the 22 crew members on board the Genco Picardy, including 9 Indians. The crew were all safe and the fire was extinguished. Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh at a briefing on Thursday said that US is not at war with Houthis in Yemen. She added that it is acting in self-defense in responding to attacks to vessels in the Red Sea.
No, we don't seek war. We don't think that we are at war. We don't want to see a regional war. The Houthis are the ones that continue to launch cruise missiles, anti-ship missiles, at innocent mariners, at commercial vessels that are just transiting an area that sees, 10 to 15% of the world's commerce. The U.S. is what we are doing with our partners is self-defense.
As Ecuador wages war against gangs under the leadership of President Daniel Noboa, security officials cracked down on a prison facility, conducting raids and search downs after a series of violent incidents in past weeks. The most recent being the murder of prosecutor Cesar Soares.
A day after the murder of Ecuadorian prosecutor Cesar Soares in Guayaquil, 2 men were arrested by the police officials suspected of killing Soares. The late leader was handling prosecution charges against organized crimes in the Guayas. A rifle, 2 pistols, and 2 vehicles were seized during the raids by the police, while the search for 2 other shooters is still underway. Police claims the criminals belong to a notorious group already classified as a terrorist organization.
The National Police hypothesized that the criminals belong to the terrorist group Chon Killers. The reason for the crime is still under investigation, but we hope to obtain soon the whereabouts of the other 2 assassins who were in the back of the vehicle that were incinerated.
Following the nationwide violent outbreak in Ecuador, a raid was conducted by the security forces at Guayaquil prison. Video footage showed inmates face down on the ground as guards carried out inspections. The Ecuadorian army and police carried out several prison raids throughout the country since last week after a violent outbreak. Bureau reports, DD India.
Well, let's take a look at some other stories making news across the globe. Well, scientists in Smith Ocean Institute have discovered at least 4 new deep-sea octopus species in a 100 square mile sized area of Costa Rica. The international science team discovered the new species during 2023 expedition near the Pacific coast of Costa Rica. Historical drama Oppenheimer led nominations for the BAFTA Film Awards on Thursday, securing 13 nods. Gothic comedy Poor Things received 11, while Martin Scorsese's Killer of the Flower Moon got 9 nominations. Barbie, starring Margot Robbie, was nominated in 5 categories. Britain's top movie awards will take place in London on Feb 18th. 6th edition of Khelo India Youth Games is all set to witness a glittering opening ceremony in South India's state of Tamil Nadu. The event will be inaugurated by Prime Minister in Chennai. Here's a report on all that's taking place in the 6th edition of KIYG. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on X, Facebook, Instagram. We're going to be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I am Anil Thomas from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.